Revit app, you arrive on this homepage, where you can find a simple example of an architectural project. We also have access to a structured project example. There is also a system project example. Below these examples, you have some system families. We can create or open up a previous project from right here. Okay, so we go to Models and click on the new bar. Here, we have some options for imperial construction templates or metric. We'll go for the metric architecture template, as we're going to learn the basics of architecture creation in Revit 2023. That will automatically open our basic, completely ready to use architectural project base file. So we have the basic ready to start review here. We have a couple of tabs. We have the 5 tabs in which there are, new open save, etc. Commands, basically. We also have the architectural pair tab. We have the structure tab, the steel tab, precast system, insert. I'm going to go through the basics of all of these by using the wall tool. So basically, you can build a wall with the door tool. We will get into this in more detail later on. But for now, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of all of this. We also have a component. If you hover over any command, Revit automatically gives you a brief summary of what that tool does. So usually that's really helpful. Like this component, we have the information that Revit is now giving. We also have the column, the roof, the ramps here as well, etc., etc. Moving on, we are going to focus on what is most important for now. We have the insert tool, in which you can insert a document or a picture in PDF or CAD format, for example. We will also have an entire part of the course devoted to this tool. But for now, at least you get the idea. Then we have the Align tool. There's also this tab of analysis tools, which are Revit specific to build energy-efficient plans, for example. We also have the parking component. This is for the parking placement. We also have a View tab by clicking over here. You can go to the 3D view. You have a couple of operations as well. If you have the option to view templates, you can have visibility or graphics options. But we don't need to get into that for now. So what I'm showing you is just an overview. And if we go into Manage, we have some other options. We have this Material options here. Here we can find the add-ins. For example, if you add some plugins to Revit, they'll be shown here. I have my main plugin store, so you can see it here. Next up, we have the Modified tab. Whatever tool you're using, you will be needing this Modification tab. It's super important. We have a few options here. Align, Modify, Offset, Meter, Copy, Rotate, Trim, Extend, Scale, Pin, Move, etc. We also have Cut, Drawing Copy Paste, which I'll show you guys how, and all of that is done. We'll have a separate path for that as well. So yeah, we have Project Browser, and we have the same option as well up here. These are some of the shortcut commands that you can have. You can change some of them. Alright, so that's it from me today. I hope it was clear and understandable for you. Alright, Now that we've had an overview of our user interface, let's start using some of the tools we have. Our first task will be to place a double door here. Go into Doors. If you want to, you can save your project where you want in your computer. We're going to load Family. Now you can see we have all the required care over Imperial folder. We have all the required families. Go to Doors and select Residential. We can choose the door we want, and as you can see, there are many options. Right now, we're going to select the interior Double Full Loss. We go for it. Then we select the width that we would like for the door. Click OK. It will load the project. So the door has been loaded. Click here. We can place our door here or wherever you like. We're going to change the view to 3D so we can visualize it better. As you can see, our door has been placed correctly. So we have the screen here. We're now going to see how we can orbit around our screen. First of all, we can orbit by going into our level 1. We reach level 1 by clicking on the middle mouse button. We can hover up, down, or wherever we want with the right click. You can click on Cancel or on whichever option. We can see the options with the left click and select anything we want by left-clicking and dragging it from the right to the left. We can select whatever we're holding on to. Now, if we go from the left side to the right side, we only select whatever we have within our boundaries. Now we can go through our 3D view. We have this option over here, Default 3D View, which is the little house icon. We click on it and we get into our 3D view. By clicking Shift and the middle mouse button at the same time, we can rotate our building in the 3D view. We can rotate our view and see the building. Now if you want to drag it, you can just click the middle mouse button and drag it right and left. We also have this cube here, which, if you click on the top, takes you to the top side. We also have our north, south, east, and west sides options. You can click on them to go left, right, or wherever we want. As you can see, we can rotate around our project. Now, if you want to go to the top side, we just click on it and hover over the top side. We also have this accent view. We can click over here and it gives us our accent automatic view. We can even go to the bottom. We also have this command over here, which is a navigation brief. If you click on it, you can see that you have multiple options. Now, if you want to orbit around the project, we can click on the orbit and use that to pivot around our project. If we click on the zoom command, we can move our mouse up and down so it will zoom in and out. Now, let's move on to the rewind tool. The rewind tool will bring you back to the previous position. So whatever you had before, you can go back to it. Kind of like a Ctrl+Z command. As you can see, we have a couple of movements, which we can go back to. We also have the pan option. The pan option has already been covered with the middle mouse button. We can pan this way, but we also have the panning with the button that appears in the center. Both options work. We also have the walk option. For the walk tool, we have to go into perspective, which we'll learn more about later. But basically, with the look tool, you can simply look at your project. You can go from the top to the bottom by using your mouse. We can do that as well. Now we have the center tool, which will define the center of your project wherever you click. Now, if you click here, that would be our center, and we'll orbit around that point from now on. In other words, it becomes our private pivot point. Of course, I can take my center and place it somewhere else according to the building just by clicking. That's it. Then we can click over here, and it gives us more options if we want. Now, if we want to get rid of the orbit tool, we can just click on the X here, and we'll get rid of that. We also have a manual zoom option here. Let me show you the few other things here. Now, let's say I want to zoom into this area. I will just click and drag over that area, and Revit will take me there. Now we say I want to zoom on this door specifically. I click and drag over it, create a square, rectangle, whatever, and I release the button. If I do again, it'll get me even closer. If you want to go back to the top, we can just click over here and it will get you to the top. Alright, so today we're going to learn about the basic wall tool, which you can find right here. We have a couple of options. We record the wall by clicking on it. We have 200 millimeters and 350 millimeters. We can also customize this according to our data and the rooms we want to create. Just click here. We can just draw a room like this. Okay, now we have a room. Okay, but we just have a room. It's not really clear yet what is going on. We can click here to get a 3D view of what we've created. So we have a room here. We can create doors, windows, or anything we want right here. If we go to our elevation, we can see that we have the walls, and we also have some levels, which we will go into more detail later on. Right now, we will just go to our 3D view. In the 3D view, we can see our walls, and we can easily customize them. Go to Options, where you will have a lot of choice in terms of commands. We also have the base offset, and we have the top offset. We can change the height manually, or we can change it by putting here whatever our recommended or required dimension is, like 600 millimeters. If we type 600, our wall will automatically have that height. Now, in order to give it a fixed or a constant level, like we have over here, level 2, 4000, we are simply going to go to our level 1. We select the wall that we want, that we need to modify. We go into Top Constraint and change the level. We can select whatever levels we want. Now, as we have done for level 2, we will go to 3D. And as we can see, the fixed height of the level is 4000 millimeters, which is our required minimum. We can also change the options to edit the type and the structure, which we will also cover later on in the course. So, if we want to change the options of our wall, we can go into Edit Type, Structure, and edit it in here. Now, we have a couple of options here. We have the structure, we have the core boundary, and we have the layers below. We can change it. So, for example, the basic wall or the basic type can become 100 millimeters. Now, in terms of the material of the wall, Give it concrete or brick, whichever you prefer. Click Insert. We have another one though, because we want this to become the layer below. So click here and bring it a layer below. Just to recap, this is a layer below wrap, and this is a layer above wrap. Okay, so we can click on cladding, and we have the cladding as 100 millimeters as well. Click OK. We click Apply. Now, as we can see, we have the wall texture as it's outside, which is a brick texture, and we go to level. There, we can see that we've changed the texture of the interior of the wall as well. Alright, so moving on, I have to explain some things. We have a wall center line. If we change this to finish the exterior as we go, we have a shortcut for wall, which is when you click on WA. Wall. Once you click, we have a wall. Now, since we created this wall from the center line or the core line, let's try creating it from the end. Click on the wall. Here, we go from finish face to exterior. Now, our wall will be drawn from the outside or the exterior side. Alright, let's move on. We have some other options in the walls as well, like changing the levels and the types of walls. Now let's say we want to edit our wall by creating a hole in it. To do that, we click on Edit. We have this here. Simply go here, and we can go for something like this. Click OK. Now, as you can see, we have a hole in the wall. We can simply click on Edit to edit this profile. We want a circle here. We can go into your required elevation, as we're going to look at it from the left side. Create a circle here. We can copy it. This is a copy space. We have another copy here. Now we have two circular holes in our wall as well. Here we also have multiple tools. We can use the rectangle tool or whatever we want. We have a couple of these as well. We will get into details for these tools as we move on with our project. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this lecture on Revit. Okay, so today we're going to have a look at doors and windows. How do we add doors to our walls? Simply, we go to level 1, we click on the door option. We have a couple of examples here. Now I can simply go in my wall and click here. This will add a door to our wall. We can also change the door types. We have a couple of types we can edit. We can also change the door thickness, the height, and other stuff. Now we're going to learn how to replace the windows over these walls. We have the window right here. Click on it. We have a couple of options here. You can select whichever one you want. You can also place it wherever you want. We also have some options, as I've already shown you during the door section. We click on Load Family, and we go back. We go back again. You can simply click Metric or Imperial, whatever library you want. We go here and find Windows. Go into Windows. I'm simply choosing this one. I then click on Open. It will get me to the size chart where I can choose the size I like. I like the 1500 to 900, which is a nice size. I'll click OK. and it will load it into Revit. Now, I can just place it on the wall. I now click on the wall and go into 3D perspective. I zoom, and there we have it. Now you can place it again, however you like, and the windows as well. Now, if you want to move it upwards, you can of course move it manually in a 3D view by clicking and dragging the window up and down with your mouse. But if you want to do it numerically, you have the steel height here. I go for 800 or 900 millimeters and I click. The window height has been changed to 900 millimeters for me. Now that's it for the window. We have a couple of more options. Go back to Window and go into Load and Family. We have a lot of options in the windows as well. We can go for these ones we click on. Okay. And now Revit is loading that, and we have this. Since that wall was short, we will not be able to place it there. We place it here, and now it's been placed. We go back to the 3D view from our project browser. Now we can see that we have that wall and that window on the wall as well. Not bad, right? We will continue adding some elements the further we carry on our course project together. Hello everyone, and welcome back to this lecture on Revit. Okay, so now we're going to see how we move these elements. Whenever we select something, we have a couple of options. We're going to look into them as well. Okay, now this is the Modified tab, which we have here. Simply select everything. The copy options should appear after. For the moving options, I can just click over here and move it here. Now I select the wall again. I have the copy option. I copy it from whichever viewpoint I select it on, and I drop it there. So if I select it from here, I will drop it here, and it will be there. Now, if I still have a copy as the multiple parties selected, I can uncheck the multiple parts. Now, it will copy the item only once. If I want to select again, I click on it multiple times. Now, I can copy it as many times as I want. Okay, so let's go back to the wall again. I find and go into these rotate options. This is a center point. You click and you can rotate around these center points, like I'm doing right now. Now you can also do this. I go to rotate again. Alright, so now I have the center of rotation. But I can easily change it by placing my center of rotation over here. Now I go from this point to this area here. So to this side, it's giving us an error, as you can see. It's actually not really an error. It's just that the wall is joined and it's a BIM project. So basically, it gives us an error asking us, are you sure you want to join? We just click yes here, we do that again, and then just click on unjoin. And just like that, our wall has been unjoined. Now, we also have some other options, like the Align option over here. We click on the Align, then click here and here. This will make sure that our wall is aligned to this wall, which we already have. Now, we also have the Offset tool. We can simply try it out by typing here 1000 or 2. Then I can offset it. You also have the copy option. If I copy and check it, then everything that I'm offsetting will be moved. Rather than making a copy, as you can see, I can click the copy again. This will create a new copy, which will be made and moved further. We also have some more tools like mirror axis, pick axis, which I have, and I will show you right now. All right, we can move this over here. Now I can just, let's see, I'm just going to make it a little bit less lengthy. Now you see this wall, we're going to mirror it. You'll understand the mirror tool once we use it. So I click on the mirror axis. I will draw axis. So this is a draw axis. Now I want to mirror this part to the opposite side, like from here to that side, and then I click. I can draw a 90-degree angle and the wall will be mirrored. Now that we have two walls, I'll just select this, and now it's back to mirror. There's also the option of a mirror axis. We also have the shortcut for that tool. I click on that. I can select this wall, which is already an axis, and I click. That wall will reflect the mirror. Now we also have the split option. The shortcut for this tool is SL. If I click here, the wall will be submitted into two parts. We also have treat and extend. Like for example, if you made a wall like this, now we have a treat and extend option here. Oh, okay. Wait a second, sorry. So I go like this. Here we have a treat and extend. I click on it and I select this wall. The walls will automatically be joined together through this. Like if we all have something like this, like this, like this. I click on it and we do that. We also have some more tools here, like the array scale, which we will learn about in a different lecture. Hey everyone, and welcome to this new lecture of Revit. So, today we're going to talk about the project browser. So, we're going to see how our interface looks like and what it's all about. Now, we have our properties panel here. When you open a blank, you'll have a properties section here. Now I select this door, so we have the door's properties. We select this wall, we have the wall's properties, and we have our project browser as well. We have level 1, level 2, ceiling plans, 3D views, elevations, etc. You can also find these project details by simply going into the View menu. In the View menu, we have these user interface, and we have these following. Now, if I uncheck the Properties panel, it will disappear. I can just check it again, and it will be back. You can drag and drop this wherever you like. You can take it up here, you can take it to the right side, wherever you like. I will just drop it back here again, and we have our project browser. Now I take my properties again, and you can just simply hover over these sides and you'll get it into the sides. Okay, you can get it to the right side, the top side, the bottom side, or this, how do you say this? How can I explain it? The left side is divided into two bits. So we have this again. Now we also have some more options. We have components, columns, roofs, core ceilings, and floor. These are architectural tabs which we're going to use now.